We have social pain from the social fear. That when we feel hurt, our feelings are hurt, someone rejects us, doesn't get us, ostracizes us in some way, the neuroscientists have found that we actually feel that social pain in the same places that we feel physical pain. How many of you can feel that? Like how many of you have ever had heartache, or somebody's relationship has ended where you're actually literally hurt? They even found that when you've got that kind of social pain, that if you take aspirin, you feel better. Because, I'm not saying you should take aspirin every time you break up, but what happens, it's the same centers of the physical pain as this kind of social pain that we have. But what they realized is this is an evolutionary kind of pain, and that's why it's something we need to understand about it, because it's an evolutionary wiring. Because early man, when we were living caveman and tribal and whatever in the early times, our safety and security is kind of wired in there. It's a big primal threat to that's where we get fear, is when we're worried about our survival. Well, when we're early man and woman, being around a lot of other people made us more secure. If we had more people to help us hunt, we had more people to help us to get food, if we had more people to help us if there was danger, or if there was a mastodon, or whatever, the saber-toothed tiger coming into your camp, whatever, the more people were around, the more secure you were. And the more status you had early on, the more resources you had that protected you from famine or other kinds of upset. So in evolutionary terms, people mean safety to us. They mean security. And anytime that's threatened, it flips us out, and it really is something that's very deeply, deeply wired, very deeply in our brains. So we all have this fear of being rejected, humiliated, betrayed, ostracized, loss of status, and our brain equates our social needs with survival. So it's very much as if our very survival is at stake when we feel rejected. And how many of you thought you were the only one that felt that way? And, oh, yeah. Now, how many of you even realize that you've ever felt that way? How many of you can admit that perhaps I've been a little bit more upset by being rejected than I wanted to admit? How many of you can get that? How many of you do that denial thing? Like, oh no, that didn't hurt me. How many of you are like that Monty Python movie? Oh, it's just a flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound. No, it's a bigger deal, because this is really wired into us very, very, very deeply. And we sense that social pain as fear, and it flips us out, and it's a really big deal. So we have to calm our amygdala, again, to get these higher centers back, to be able to really be available and to engage with other people, because being with other people is scary. And all of us think, oh, if I just had a loved one, then I'll never be scared again, and I'll never be freaked out. But the closer you get to somebody, the more they mean to you, and then if they ignore you, what happens? It's more hurtful. So being in relationship is hurtful. Being in a relationship is also wonderful, but we have to be able to deal with that social pain and the rejection so that we don't isolate ourselves from other people, so we can learn to deal with it and bridge that with other people to get the reassurance that we need.